city.
That makes it unique. So everyone who comes to Nairobi, he or she want to have a slice like do the sighting here.
Gosh.
Because it's unique. So what we have here, we call them olive baboons.
Let me see on this side.
See that?
Wow.
You can open this as well.
Oh my god. Really?
For your food. Straight out of the park.
Yeah.
Like around Magadinos, Lugar area. Yeah, something like this. Okay.
So as you can see there, 2 rhinos, a male and a female, and I cannot stress how amazing and phenomenal it was to be so up close to these beautiful creatures where you could just see them in their natural spaces, you know, just having a good time. And as my amazing guide as well, shout out to Richard who took me along on this journey. He is just a wealth of information. So yes, he is, in his own words, they were just chilling, and yeah, as you can see, they are right there. So instead of all the oohing and eyeing and the wows, I'll just interject from time to time.
Lifespan, they live for 55 years. Gestation period for females takes around 17 months. Dropping a new calf or newborn calf is allowed.
So yeah, this is the footage. It is unedited, just all the excitement seeing 2 lions on the road up close. I was at this moment trying to get up to the open roof of the car to look at them.
Barabara ya kupanda kutoka Ivory ya ndani wako wawili.
And I'm a cat lover, so everything in you just wants to reach out and touch them, but don't ever try that. Just admire them. They are absolutely beautiful. We thought that this moment could be a hunt.
Gosh. This is amazing.
Amazing, as you can hear me saying there. You always think that perhaps some of these creatures will be far off in the distance and one perhaps may use some binoculars to see them, but no, they were right up close, right near the car. You could just reach out and touch them. Not advisable, of course, do not do that. They were a stone's throw away. As you heard Richard saying, that is the Ivory Burning Site Monument. The then president of Kenya, Daniel Arap Moi, burned 12 tons of ivory on that site within the park. So he was pointing out to me that some of the ivory you could see there could be differentiated by the colors. You could see the lighter one belonging to the elephant, the darker one to the rhino, and that act of burning all that ivory, it really stamped Kenya's conservation and wildlife protection image in the sight of the whole world. So we got to see some ostrich as well. And oh my goodness, the park had such a high diversity of bird species. They say that it's up to 500 permanent and migratory species that are in the park. And yes, I can attest to that. All types of beautiful birds. Some of them, of course, I just wanted to take it in. But you know, of course, you can see an ostrich. I had to pull out the camera for that one. So that was, according to my guide, it was a male and a female ostrich, and they were just walking around. It was a great time of the year to visit the park as well. There had been a prolonged dry season. Now that it had rained, the water had attracted those water-dependent species.
So one can be very cautious of that.
Most data you
And of course now the giraffe, that was an amazing highlight as well. It's called a Maasai giraffe in the national park. Now, and I love the image of the skyline in the background. Truly, Nairobi National Park is the world's only wildlife capital, as they style themselves. It's so true. It's amazing to always see the buildings in the background.
Thank you for showing that.
But of course, they're quite a distance away. So guys, forgive the shaky cam. The ride was a bit bumpy at some points. The guide was pointing out to me how they walk, alternating their legs. I'd never noticed that before. So unique. This was so beautiful. Something's just so special being up close to these creatures, especially when they're so tall. So here's a moment. We had a male lion hiding in the bushes, and I cannot emphasize how fantastic it is to be up close with such an imposing creature that is so assured of itself. It's just such an experience to have something like that right up close to you, no barrier in between, and its natural habitat. I want to say that over and over again. Just going about its day, doing what it would do on its own terms, so special. Looking into its eyes was amazing. And I know you're wondering, what's the guy doing outside? He was trying and get it to stand up, but it was all good. Wow, it was just such a moment. Really had to take that in. So special. And I say my guide was amazing in that bold moment. Just once again, thumbs up to my guide. Just trying to get the best shots of the lion. He knew how important it was for me to see one, and I was savoring that whole experience. And the whole ambiance of the whole experience is just amazing. Once again, back with the giraffes. When I say being inside this park is so serene and peaceful, yes, you could just hear all of the birds and that amazing atmosphere. I just wanted to take it all in. And yes, sometimes the shots aren't so perfect. It's because I wanted to live in the moment and, not really have that whole living your life through the lens. I just wanted to take it in.
Okay. Here in the national park in Kenya. There's my ride. It is so peaceful. It is so peaceful. It is so peaceful. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day.
We literally took a pit stop in the park. There's an area where you can come out and walk, and it was just so fascinating to me to think that I was taking a walk right now with my guide in the middle of a national park, where just a few seconds ago we'd seen rhino and buffalo and lionesses, and and as you can see in the next image, we just come across some lioness here perched up on this signpost, a picture perfect moment. It's like they just know somehow we want to capture them doing these amazing things, and they're so used to all the people going by. By no means does that mean you try and touch them, but there is a way that they're kind of used to people being around.
Oh my gosh.
The park itself has been used, especially through the revenues, towards community projects, so that some people who also are quite close to the park have some benefit from it being in their presence. And it was also interesting to me to know that migrating animals can reach like their other pastures by traveling through parts of the country. There's a place called Athi Plains in a place called Kitengela, and that land is so important to the migration routes, and that is something that is so phenomenal to me, that there's a part that is not fenced off, so that the migratory species from Nairobi National Park can be able to access the important conserved wildlife corridor routes, or migration corridors as they are also called, in order to reach their destinations according to various seasons in the year. And the handling of conservation in that way is something that is so admirable. So once again, I'm just saying this was just such an amazing experience for me. It's one thing to watch these videos online or on YouTube, and it's one thing to see animals in some kind of enclosure like a zoo, but it's very different to see them in that environment. Yes, I would absolutely recommend this to anyone who is looking forward to planning some type of safari in East Africa and Kenya, because it is just so beautiful seeing this natural environment and this space that has been given to nature to flourish. I'm talking about the fauna, the flora.
Is different from this one. Their stripes are more closer stripes, and the whole other part is white. And they have large ears, and they are bigger in size compared to this one.
So this was an amazing moment, and when I say that these animals are a stone's throw away, I am not kidding. They're right there, and as you can see, amazing vistas right there in the background. You can just see the plains. It's such an amazing expanse of land, and everything off in the distance, so serene, so peaceful. Oh. I just have to say that again, it's so peaceful, so peaceful.
They just like run away.
So everyone's gotta try this. So guys, forgive the shaky cam. The ride at some points was quite bouncy. There's a bit of shaky cam. I said I wanted this to be as unedited as possible, so I just wanted you to enjoy how it felt in the moment as you came across some animals and how you had to rush out and get your camera. And then there was a quick treat. In Nairobi National Park, at the entrance, there is a sanctuary located close to the park's main entrance, and that was opened in 1963. And in that park, they hand rear orphaned animals that are then released back into secure sanctuaries, and orphans and sick animals are brought to the sanctuary from all over Kenya. And in that place, we got to see some more diverse species of animals there. And a fascinating story about these amazing creatures. I got to speak to one of the people who work there. Great guy. He said that in the enclosures is his office. As we were leaving the park, he has a pair of keys with him, and I'm like, what's he doing with the keys? When I'm saying he walked up to one of the enclosures where these cheetahs were, and he opened the gate and he walked in, I was like, what is going on? And the look on their faces when they saw him approaching, for sure he had to have hand reared them. They were so used to him. They were so happy to see him. And when he opened up the gate, and perhaps they thought he had some food, and they saw he didn't have food, they just kind of, they had that whole cat attitude about them, and they all went back to where they were. Such a funny moment, and so special that he actually took the time to show me that yes, he does get into the enclosures with these animals. They're quite acquainted with him, even the leopards that were there. So that for me was an amazing thing. I wish I caught that on camera, but it was all happening so quick. So I just had to recount that story for you. So special. So yes, here we are. Some images from the sanctuary where these animals are being hand reared and cared for. That was fun. I got to see a lot of animals. I didn't capture all of them. The warthogs were there. When I was a young... Let's avoid that copyright. Anyway, we had fun. Such a fun time. And I would absolutely recommend this experience to anyone who wants to, just travel outside your country or get away from the norms that you've been used to. From what I saw and all the people who worked there, who are just such a highlight as well, I would recommend anyone who can just take time, fly, and there's a lot of parks to choose from. Nairobi National Park in this case. There is the Tsavo National Park in Masai Mara, which I think a lot of people know about, and on. The list goes on and on. It is truly a paradise. In the time there, you will get to have such a new and renewed respect and love for nature. Get a renewed commitment to not only preserve and protect wildlife and nature, but also find a way to find how in the same vein that you can benefit the locals directly around those areas. And as a by the way, when I think about like Prince Harry, who has that love affair with Africa and conservation and wildlife and the people, having this journey, I just thought about how a younger Harry, loved to get away from England and wanted at a point to be a safari guide. And I've got to say, listening to Richard, it would truly be a dream job if that is someone's calling, because what's not to love being surrounded by nature, just being so in tune with it as well. Every inch of you is just filled with a thrill and excitement as you go out every day, and because you are seeing these animals in their natural spaces and habitats that, it's completely unscripted. Everything is unexpected, and it's just so beautiful and peaceful. So yes, I totally got the appeal of what he would have loved to do when he was younger, just being out there and watching Richard as well and his compatriots going about their day. It was just a lovely thing to behold, the whole ambiance and the way they worked together and their excitement and vivacity as they went about the day. It was just so heartwarming and truly lovely. So yes, no wonder Harry loves to go back and forth to Africa. For him, I don't think that's a chore at all. It's just flowing from his heart. And be so stuck in with the locals and the wildlife. It is so priceless. Once you're in that environment, you totally get it. That love and respect for nature and that natural environment and all that. And it was just so amazing. And once again, such a great experience. So thank you for watching this. Thank you to those who support my channel. Thank you to all of you. Just know that your giving to my work has been so meaningful to me, and I'm just happy to take you along on this journey with me. Thank you all. Leave your comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.